Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher, Director of Product Optimization here at Sweetwater Sound. Today I'd like to dig into a specific part of the DeepMind 12, the mod section, which stands for modulation. And it basically lets you take one section of the machine and wiggle some other section of the machine. Now we have some knobs dedicated to that, but it's much more powerful for you to connect anything to anything else. That's what kind of makes it like a modular synthesizer and having that ability. So let's dig right into that. Okay, the first one we're going to do is modulate pitch of DC01 with the mod wheel. So I hit the mod button, and as my source, I choose mod wheel, and then as destination, I'm going to make it be oscillator 1 pitch. Now you notice that nothing happens, and the reason is that the depth is at 0. So if I move it up just a little bit, it'll move the pitch a little bit. I can go very slight amount. Or I can go extreme. And I can even go negative. So moving the mod wheel up now moves the pitch down. So now I'm going to use mod to have the mod wheel move the frequency cutoff of the filter. So I hit mod, make my source be, once again, mod wheel, make the destination be VCF frequency, voltage control frequency, and again, nothing happens because the depth is 0, but as I increase this positively, the mod wheel now opens the filter. And if I go negative, which I'll now have to open the filter a little bit, now I'll go negative. But you don't have to use physical controllers as your source. You can also use things like LFO. So here, if I take LFO1 with some depth and send it to the filter, cut off. But I have no control over that. In other words, the modulation source is always going to be at that depth. But what if I wanted to move that depth? I simply use another mod, and I make something like the mod wheel. And this time I'm going to control something called mod 1 depth. In other words, mod wheel is going to determine how much the first modulation works. So bring this back to 0. And now, with the mod wheel down, there's no filter modulation. And in fact, if you wanted to get complex, you could actually have something modulating something that's modulating something. So it's very, very powerful. And they've even come up with some really clever shortcuts on how to choose what your source is and what your destination is. All you do is hold the mod wheel, and if you touch an edit button, like say LFO2, it jumps to LFO2. And if there are other choices, it will cycle through them. So here's a unipolar version of LFO2, a fade of LFO2, and then back to the first choice. And if you want to choose your destination, all you have to do is hold the mod and touch the knob of the destination, and there it is. So clearly you could spend a lifetime coming up with different modulations for this thing. Just yet another reason that this DeepMind 12 is an amazing synthesizer. If you have any further questions about it, please call your Sweetwater sales engineer. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for listening.